That right there, that'll do your soul good on a cold day. Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome back to Art of Christian Homestead. My name is Jason. We're in the kitchen, okay? Angela Kay is over at the stove. We have picked another tromboncina because they're stinking awesome. They've grown so many this year. We were able to salvage some before the frost, so we've got another tromboncina that she's picked, and she's already sliced it up. She's done some dicing and slicing and working her magic with the knife over there already, and she's at the stove. She's got some bacon cooking, so I'm gonna head that way because I love bacon.
Today we are making minestrone, and I'm kind of teaching you more of a method than a recipe because you can throw anything you want in this. Like the meat that I am choosing to use this time is bacon. You can use Italian sausage, you can use breakfast sausage, you can use hamburger, you can use ham cubes, but I am choosing to use bacon. Bacon will add a really good flavor. You could probably even add salami, don't you think, Jason?
Oh, heck yeah, I agree.
And I've got about 10 to 12 slices of bacon in here, just chopped up, and I'm going to fry them until they're nice and done, and then I'm going to go ahead and pull them out. And I will leave behind some of the bacon drippings to start sauteing my vegetables in, but I won't leave them all in because you don't want all that fat in your soup.
Be a greasy soup.
Be a very greasy soup. So I'm going to finish sauteing this bacon and then I'll show you what's next. Okay, we've pulled out our bacon and I've got out most of the fat, left just a tiny bit, and then I've added about a tablespoon of olive oil. To that we are adding about 1 to 2 cups of carrots and a large onion. I'm using a purple onion because that's what we grew this year. And you want to saute that up really nicely. You want to start with your hardest vegetables. So I'm starting with the carrots and the onion. If you want to add celery, you could add some celery at this point, but you would add it with this. And now you want to season this up really good. The key to good minestrone is to season as you go, because you want every layer of flavor to have some seasoning. So I'm just adding some salt. Just adding some salt and pepper. And you want to saute these till they start to get tender. Till your onions start to get a little translucent and they start to get tender. This will make the soup, if you take the step and saute first, it will make the soup get done a lot quicker. That way you're not cooking all day. That way it's more of a quick minestrone than a long cooked minestrone. Okay, now here we have about the equivalent of about 3 small tender zucchinis, and I have 4 large cloves of garlic that I've grated up.
That's awesome. So we grew the onions, we grew the garlic, we grew the tromboncina / zucchini.
Yes.
And the tomatoes we're going to go into.
Yes. And now, like I said, this is part of your trick, is saute things up first, and it becomes a quick soup and a quick meal. And now, don't forget, you season as you go. So, season up. Season up with some salt and pepper. And at this point, I'm going to add about a teaspoon of Italian seasoning. I'm rubbing it between my hands, that way it releases the oils from the dried spices and opens them back up. Now you want to stir this around until your zucchini starts to get a little tender and you start to smell your garlic getting fragrant, which you can already smell it. It smells amazing.
It does smell great.
Now everything's starting to get all nice and tender and
fragrant.
Oh gosh, it smells amazing.
It smells so great.
Now to this we are going to add 2 cans of Great Northern beans that I have rinsed and drained.
Could use cannellini.
You can use cannellini.
I nearly bought cannellini instead of Great Northern.
But cannellinis will be a larger bean than Great Northerns. That's the reason a lot of times I will pick Great Northerns, because they're a smaller bean.
That's true.
And you want to kind of saute your beans in with your veggies just a little bit. And remember, like I've been saying, remember to season as you go. Because poorly seasoned minestrone is not good.
And yes, you did season vegetables, but the beans are not seasoned.
Yes.
And the zucchini wasn't seasoned, right? Yeah.
I added a little bit, but not much.
Right.
And when I tasted the zucchini, it needed a little bit more.
And beans will soak up the seasoning.
Yes.
They will.
So now I am going to add 2 pints of home canned tomatoes, or you can add 2 15-ounce cans of diced tomatoes. And you want to take your jars or your cans and fill them about half full of water to rinse them out, and pour the 2 half cans or jars into your soup.
Now, will that also help to like deglaze the bottom, right?
Yes, that will help to deglaze the bottom of your pot as well.
So once you do that, you kind of scrape the bottom of the pot.
Yes.
Cool.
And it smells insane.
It does smell good.
But you will need that extra liquid.
Yeah.
You may even have to add a little bit more liquid than that. You will need that extra liquid to cook your pasta, because you always have pasta in minestrone.
Yep.
So now I'm going to add my water. Now you want to let this cook until it's nice and bubbly and everything starts to get a little more tender. And once you taste everything and it seems to be a little more tender, you want to make sure you bring up your seasoning to the point you want it at that point, because the next step is we're going to add the pasta. This is just simmered for just a few minutes and your veggies are almost tender. You don't want to cook it till they're falling apart tender, because they're going to cook more when your pasta cooks. So at this point, I'm going to add my bacon back in. That way it'll flavor everything up.
And we use paper plates to drain it on, by the way.
Yes.
It works really well. No fuzz from the napkins.
Yes. So now you can use any pasta of your choice. You can use macaroni, you can use ditalini, you can use shells. I am using orecchiette. See, they look like little ears. That's why they're called orecchiette. And at this point, this is all up to you. If you want a thicker soup that's more like a stew, you will add more pasta. That way it'll thicken up more. If you want a thinner soup, then you will add less pasta, because it will be more brothy that way. But I would say about a cup to a cup and a half of pasta of your choice. And you will let that pasta cook until it is completely tender, which will take about 8 to 12 minutes depending on the shape and cut of pasta that you are using.
Look at this beautiful pasta bowl full of minestrone. Put a little grana padano cheese on it. Drizzle some olive oil around the edges. Now I'm going to taste it. Alright, yeah, there we go. Look at that beautiful, beautiful thing. Mmm. Wow. Oh, so delicious. Like, amazing. Beautiful job, Angela. A lot of great flavors in there. Just melts together in one beautiful bite, which is what it's exactly supposed to do. And that right there, that'll do your soul good on a cold day. On a brisk fall day, a cold winter day, whatever, that'll work. It's awesome. So if you're looking for a new twist, maybe a new way to use some zucchini, if you got some zucchini sitting around, we're gonna dice some of these up and freeze them, because they'll be usable that way too. That's an awesome dish. Very good, very flavorful, and a good new soup that you can try if you're just kind of tired of the same old stuff. So thank y'all so much for watching. We do appreciate it. My name is Jason. This is Our Creation Homestead. That's all, by the way. That's Angela K, if you didn't know that. God bless y'all and goodbye.